I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is my modded adventure. Now today is World Download Day, and that means if you're a supporter of any tier, whether that's on Discord, on Twitch, a Patreon, or a YouTube member, you get access to this World Download all handled through the Discord. You can find that on the World Downloads channel in the Discord, discord.gg/ChosenArchitect, or you can find it linked down in the description below. And I hope you guys enjoy. Now on with today's video. So we have done a lot so far, and we just went to the end and raided that bad boy. We ended up completing and destroying the dragon, but it gave us access to some new things, chorus fruit. And that's actually been something that we've been missing up till now. Now with this chorus fruit, it gives us access to some stuff to make us even more powerful, an even more powerful mage. We have been stuck at tier 2. Basically, the tiers allow your gear to be better overall. And at the moment, we only have tier 2, which is basically, hey, you've accessed the nether, you should have some blaze rods, go ahead and upgrade your gear. But now, to get to tier 3, we have access to ender pearls and chorus fruit. And it is going to cost a lot more source to do this. But this isn't even as far as we can go. Because we have access to tier 3, we can then take our tier 3 gear and upgrade it even further into tier 4. But this requires an entirely new subset of items in order to get here, including netherite, which isn't a big deal for us. But the Mark of Mastery, this one is a little bit more challenging to get. We do have to fight the Wilden Chimera again, which we've done it now twice. But we also need the Animania Essence, which we've also done. So we should be pretty much set up. It is going to cost a full jar of source in order to make this Mark of Mastery, though. Wonder if this source relay can link all the way up to the top where we're going to be doing a lot of our crafting. I wonder if this will make it all the way up to this jar. It says it's being sent. Oh, it does reach. Oh, that is perfect. So this is going to be the jar that we use to complete all of our crafts. That's perfect. That's reaching all the way through the building. And so now I think adding some speed upgrades to this modular router is just going to help us a little bit. So putting these speed upgrades in here are going to help us sort of get these items in faster. We're going to need 2 ender pearls for each piece of gear and 1 chorus for each new piece of gear to take it to tier 3. And just by putting this in, it goes a lot faster. And then it's upgrading time. This is just going to take us to tier 3 though. Perfect. So now with all of this tier 3 gear, we should have even more mana in our reserves, even more source in our reserves, and more mana regen overall. This also gives us some higher tier slots now in all of our pieces of gear for our threads. Now, at this point, I've definitely gotten a lot more comfortable with fighting the Wilden Chimera. It's not too bad at this point. I mean, we just need to make sure we maintain our equipment, and now we should be able to attack this much quicker because of our sharpness. Yeah, and even using this sword is pretty darn powerful. We're chipping away quite quickly. I bet even with this, we could probably chip away even faster, because this does a pretty good job at killing the mobs. Yeah, let's go ahead and eat one of these. This really makes us powerful. There we go. Just completely wrecking that 1,000 health like it's nothing. Oh, it's boss change time. The only one that I'm worried about, yeah, is the spiky boy. This one is pretty scary. Okay, it looks like we're avoiding, somehow we're avoiding the spikes. Whew. Oh, nope, we got hit with it. And that takes us out of our effect that we had going for us. So we at least got 1 hit from the spikes. But now we should be able to easily take this guy out. Let's get this guy hit with a slowness. There we go. Oh, and now we're getting a 3rd phase. Oh, you gotta love this. Now we're full phased. So this guy is now spawning everything. Oh no. And is about to dive bomb. Yo, that's so ridiculous. Okay, this final phase is pretty rough. Pretty rough. Let's eat another one. This has probably been the most difficult thus far. Thank goodness for that tier 3 armor, because that really does help. And I think this guy, yeah, this has gained some armor as well. Oh no, we're about to do it again. Dive bomb and let's dodge out of the way. Oh, and we've almost got him. Finally. Oh, wait. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 I'm gonna die. Let's eat this. Hurry. I thought it was over. It definitely was not over. Now it is officially over. Oh my goodness, that actually caught me off guard there. That was good. But we should now have another tribute, and we can upgrade our gear even further. I guess it's called a Wilden fight for a reason. Now we also still need that Animania essence, so I'm going to go ahead and craft that. Or Anima essence, I keep calling it Animania. But yeah, and that looks going to lead me back to Animaniacs. Oh, sorry, wrong. Something different. Nice. So there we go. That should be just about everything we need. We're also going to need one of each of our essences here that just get produced over and over and over again. And back up top, we now should be able to craft all of these together. So if I prep up one of each, we should have all of the source to contain everything. And I think that's one for every slot. And then last but not least, the tribute. And it takes an entire source jar in order to craft this thing. And these are very powerful. And I think it gives us 5 for a reason. One for each of our pieces of gear, right? But we also get to make a focus with it. And that's something else that is going to be very important. Now, it is at this very moment that we choose our house. I mean, eventually we can have all of them, but what house do I want the most? So inside of our R's book, it does explain a little bit about the different sets. So we have the Aquamancer, the Geomancer, the Pyromancer, and I do believe we also have the Aethermancer. All have their own sort of perks and skills that are suited towards a particular thing. Now, the Aquamancer set, the main part about it is going to amplify water-based glyphs. It's going to make them cheaper, and it's going to reduce damage related to water, like drowning, freezing, and lightning. Of course, all that's just said right here. And the Geomancer, this is going to reduce things related to Earth. So this is a great set for mining. Like if you want a mining set, this is the set for that. And that might be something we work towards, definitely building a mining set. It's going to reduce the costs of those types of glyphs. Now, Pyromancer has to be one of my favorites because it does have some extra little perks that we're going to look into here in a little bit. But what it basically does is you can eventually have this gear become like a damage set. This set will deal a lot of damage to your enemies. And then last but not least, the Aethermancer, which is going to reduce the cost of your flying sort of abilities. Things like that cast you in the air and or the abilities that hurt mobs that are flying in the air. This is the set that is going to be really nice for traveling, I think. Now, with all of that in mind, there's some other things I also want to think about. And that is what kind of synergizes with each of these armors. And that's where each of these focuses come into play. For example, the focus of Earth. Now, all of these focuses have importance. For example, this says while you're under Y level 0, you'll get regen 1. That's pretty awesome. The fire one. So if you dip yourself into some lava or you take some fire damage, you're going to get a bonus spell damage. That's pretty cool. And this is why I said the fire set can be a very powerful one. And then we have the necromancy, which is going to improve the things that happen from your summon abilities. And then we have the water one. And this says grants mana regen while wearing the set, regen 2, and Dolphin's Grace while swimming, while you have that full set on. So there's some pretty cool perks to all of these different things. Now notice the lack of an air-based one. I didn't see an air-based one. Oh, here it is, focus of air. So yes, it says while wearing, you stand over Y200. Let's see, it is under the shock effect, you'll get mana regen while you're up in the air. Pretty cool. Like, all of this is really great. Air also is like part of a lightning build as well. That's another great perk. Now these all have like secondary perks that sort of augment the way spells work. Just like this one saying that this focus empowers launch, and it says charging to apply levitate when augmented with extended time. So you can have different sort of things built together. This says it also empowers cuts, giving it a chance to drop heads or skulls if it deals the killing blow. That's a really cool perk. There's all kinds of cool perks. I really like the fire one though. The fire one inflicts fire damage, right? But it also inflicts fire damage to things that would normally have fire resistance. So if they have fire resistance, you completely bypass that fire resistance, meaning there's really nothing standing in your way. It's so powerful. Just to cover one of the other effects, Earth, it can create this like gravity field that pulls the mobs together and can unleash spores, which this will boost the spore effect, which is another damage dealing ability. And the focus on necromancy, this will give you some nice like bonuses to heal and extend time on certain animation glyphs. And also, if you summon in a steed, it'll now be a skeleton horse that can breathe underwater. Now, my ultimate goal is to have a very powerful damage set. That I feel is important. But eventually, like I said, I want to have all of the sets. So I think for right now, we are going to stick with the orange theme. That's right. And we are going to choose Gryffindor. No, it's not Gryffindor. We are going to choose the class or the house of fire. Pyromancy. It is. Now for this, we are going to need 4 netherite. This is basically pushing us into a netherite type tier gear. We're also going to need the Mark of Mastery. And I think for the Pyromancy particular set, we are going to need the Pyro based, which is going to be Fire Essence. And we're going to need 7,000 source for each. Let's get the first piece of gear underway. Oh boy. This is such a powerful set, and we're going to have, like, we already had really powerful abilities, but now it's just going to be even more powerful. And it's really cool. When you equip them, it sounds like fire, but when you have the whole set and you have your little charm, get like a little pet that sort of follows you. You'll see here in a moment. So with the entire set equipped, it looked pretty darn cool. But we do want to make the fire focus. So this is the lesser version, and this is going to cost a little bit. Just need some gold and some fire essence. And we also need some source. I think it actually is this. This is an imbuement chamber this needs. So this is an interesting mechanic. So up to this point, we've only used a couple of things, and we've not really used an imbuement chamber in this way. So yes, this is actually not handled here. This is handled in an imbuement chamber in order to create. But we are still going to need some source. I'm going to grab with this. So perfect. Let's go ahead and place our source jar here and replace the recipe. So it's just going to require these, and it being an imbuement chamber means that I don't think it actually consumes these things. It's just going to need an amethyst shard and just a little bit of source. There we go. So this is going to create that thing that we're going to need. And then I think its next step, though, does require the enchanting apparatus in the way that we had set up. And so with this producing, it takes a little bit of time. We should have everything. And I don't know if this goes faster if you have multiple jars. That's something I'm learning about. But there we go. So the way of fire. And then we take this and combine this with a Mark of Mastery. Let's go ahead and take this out because this goes here. And I think that's it, right? We just need... Oh, no, this goes in. And then we use the Mark of Mastery. Okay, so this goes on the plate and then the Mark of Mastery goes in. Maybe I'm wrong there. Let's see. Enchanting apparatus. Lesser focus. Output is this with 500 source. Mark of Mastery. That should go here, and then this goes in here. Oh, it's because it's counting these petals. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and remove these real quick. Now we should be good. Perfect. So that goes here, and that goes in the middle. And this is what that other mark of mastery is for. So we've killed the Wilden, we've upgraded our book to tier 3, we've gotten this, and now we are the master of fire. And this goes into our spell slot, which is over here. And now we should be nice and fancy. And notice the little flare that's to our side that now follows us around. That's right. That's what that little thing does. And now we should probably upgrade our sword, and we should switch over to the ultimate damage spell. So if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure this will be very powerful. So we have an ignite that's delayed, and then we have duration down with a flare. Flare, remember, is going to be modified and changed. Then we have 2 amplifies. We're going to hit a delay again that is shortened, and then a flare, and then another amplify, and then we should have another amplify that's applied at the end of this spell. Now, this should modify our sword, and basically taking us from that cold holding spell, this is going to generate a very powerful sort of fire-related spell. Oh, and another thing, I can go in here and change the color. Let's set our sword to orange, and based on the spell color, we can modify our actual sword color. So this should set our sword to an orange. That's so sick. Now we have the ability to try this out, and the target dummy is sort of our best bet. Just by default, this now is dealing 31 damage, but notice it's not really applying again. So I feel like maybe our spell needs a little bit more delay. Maybe that reduction of the delay is not enough. So what I can do is maybe change this. We'll still hit it with a delay, but then we'll put that other flare on there, and we'll actually use an AoE, then an amplify on that. And that should give a bigger radius to the potential explosion at the end. And then we need to reapply that to our sword, and let's see if that's going to give us the 2 shots of 30, basically allowing this sword to deal well over 60 damage per swing. I feel like that could be... Yes, it hit for the other 30. So notice it's doing the 11.5, it did 31, and then a tick damage and another 30. So it's doing almost 72 damage per swing. And that's not even counting whenever I have multiple enemies next to each other, because that's when this thing really shines. Now, I think we should go test this out on some enemies. Yes, all of this gear piled up. For example, here's 2 creepers next to each other, and look at that explosion damage that happens next to them. This is powerful. So here's 2. I hit 1, they both die. You're not mistaken. You're seeing it. And I don't even have my toes dipped in lava right now, because if I was to ignite myself, then I would get even more spell bonuses. And it lasts for quite a while. And I'm also resistant to fire, I do believe, like fully. Look at this, the perfect grouping of enemies. I hit 1. This guy even gets hit a little bit. But even if the mob is fire resistant, completely bypasses that. I mean, as if we're not strong enough, let's try and maybe make ourselves even stronger by, before we get into a battle, maybe we make ourselves a horn that can set enemies on fire around me and set myself on fire to give myself that buff. I think this could be kind of cool. And I can do this using an enchanter's horn. So yes, just like earlier, we can inscribe a spell on this. So maybe we ignite ourselves from this. This is going to apply a self automatically to me and the things around me. So I gotta be careful with this, because this could be pretty dangerous. But maybe we do an ignite and we do an extend time. Maybe a couple of AoEs. Like, this could be pretty cool. Like, might as well max it out, you know, as much as we can. I don't even know if AoE would be important, but definitely an extend time would be great on this, just so I can set myself ablaze. Perfect. So that is now inscribed on there. And what should happen is we get hit with ignite and time. And the longer I hold this, the larger the AoE is supposed to be. Well, let's go ahead and give this a shot. Also, if I have my shield on and I block with it, I get more spell damage. And then we have this that just set me and the mobs on fire. And then I hit this and they're just eradicated. Because right now we have spell damage 3 for being set on fire. Look at that. It actually sets them on fire. Wow. I wonder if like we could use this instead of a sword. I mean, we wouldn't get the extra amplify, but this is pretty cool that it does ignite the mobs. It sounds the raid sound. Just all these mobs just getting completely shredded here. Oh, it's so satisfying. Now, I just went out mining for some more ancient debris because I wanted to use it, but I seen this guy pop up and 75 health, 1 hit. And how is this doing? I think this guy has Hellfire Burn on him, which I think is what's preventing. So there's something going on. Whoa. What is this bounciness I have? Gravity? 500 gravity I was just hit with? What is going on? Cyclic gravity. That is hilarious. There's still one more thing that I should be able to do, and that is upgrade my spellbook one more time. And in reality, all this is effectively doing is making sure that my spellbook can't just burn in fire. Could you imagine losing your spellbook to fire? So this is going to make it basically netherite. Yeah. So this is going to make sure that my book should not burn if accidentally dropped in lava. And it looks so much cooler once we have it in our hand, right? Let's take a look at this. Oh, that just fits this so well. This whole build, it just looks kind of burnt and dark. And I like that. I definitely do. Now, as far as the interface goes in the book, it's no different. But when held in our hand, it does have a darker border. And it should be fire resistant now. I tell you what, yeah, we wouldn't want our book like just catching on fire and bursting into flames. That would be bad, especially since we are a pyromancer after all. And with all of this, we're definitely looking a bit more spiffy. And well, we still have a warden to take on eventually. Oh boy, and I hope that we're geared up and ready for that. Now that we have this sword, is the warden resistant to magic? Oh no, I guess I'll just have to figure that out on my own. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and hope you learned a little bit more about this fantastic mod, Ars Nouveau. And of course, its add-ons, that is Ars Elemental, which is the gear that we're now wearing. Oh, it looks so good. I love the little flare floating around. But if you did enjoy, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already and give this video a huge thumbs up. Also, do not forget, it is World Download Day, so if you're a supporter of any tier, hop on over to the Discord and check out the Downloads channel and join in this world and try it out for yourself and see what shenanigans you can get up to. And guys, I hope to see you in the next one. It's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Pyromancy. I think I said that right. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting in one of the best ways possible. Thank you all so very much. I hope to see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.